Okay, wrapper classes apply object-oriented capabilities to the primitives. Okay, so what is this wrapper class? Is capable of holding a primitive value provided by Java. What is actually a primitive? Int, byte, short, all those are were mine. So for every primitive class, there will be a wrapper class, is what Java saying. There is a wrapper class. Extract the primitive value out of the wrapper class using some xxs.value methods we can use. Okay. Why we need to create a wrapper means, so wrapper classes can provide constants like minimum and maximum values. That is the case. Means if you see here, the one advantage we have when in case of class, for class objects I can assign a null value. Whereas in primitives, you can't assign a null value. Int a is equal to null, you can't do. Compiler will throw an error because you should initialize the value with 0 or something. Some value should be there. Whereas integer I is equal to null, I can. Because integer is a class. Integer I is a reference. Whereas int I is a variable. So variable cannot be null. They're saying reference can be null. Right? So the point is here. We need to understand primitive don't have operations. Like I can't, by default it can't, doesn't comes with the operations. You can apply operators on them like a plus b, int a, int b, a plus b I can do. But whereas here we have some by default methods in the wrapper class itself. Integer, we have addition of two numbers. Okay, like that we in wrapper classes we can write our own methods and extend it. Definition or existing we can reuse. Whereas in primitive data type, whatever is there you should need to consume. That's it. We can't do any operation. Okay, clear. So here you observe the words called auto boxing. What is this auto boxing? So for example, you say int a is 42 and using the value of method. Okay. So it will convert to an integer, and if I want to convert it back, it is somewhat like B. I want to convert primitive C, then just call the method in the int value. Means you want to do this much hangama normally, right? So whereas you see we have one more class called big decimal. Big decimal is using to handle big decimal operations, not all float or big decimals, right? So, however, other numeric wrapper classes, big decimal has arbitrary precision, like precision you have. Okay, designed to work specially with decimal numbers. Okay, and provide convenient scale and round operations. Okay, fine. It provides methods such as add, subtract, divide, multiplication, remainder, multiply. Means in our wrapper classes, in primitives, we don't have such methods. Okay? It is typically used to represent the decimal number and required exact position as physical values. Okay. Basically, to represent the number and its precision values. Right? Scanner we have already. Okay. Wrapper class. So, what do you see? Int I is equal to 0. Here we are seeing in the integer I is equal to 0. So what is the difference between int and integer? Integer is the wrapper class. It is built around integer. What is int? What is int? Data type. Int is not a class. Int is a data type. So double is a data type. D capital double is a wrapper class. Okay. So So if you observe here, you saw already scanner, correct? So what is the meant of scanner? Reading the data from the console. Reading the data from the console. Now, so now what we are seeing, if you observe here, I am from when I declare integer as a wrapper class rather than a primitive. What happens? I can find out what is the max value I can support for integer. What is the max value I can find out for decimal? So what is the max value of float is also possible to see, right? So now if you observe first three lines, so integer, what is the maximum value? Oh my God, somewhere it is 147 crores, right? Right? 2k crores. Until 2k crore is the integer support. So whereas this fellow double is also like that. Whereas this fellow also, when you say f max 3.14 e 38, e to the power of 38, e to the power of 8 it is previous one, right? So now if you observe here, we are asking to enter password. Okay. We entered a password. Okay. We entered an integer password. Okay. The integer value of, so whatever we enter from the console, it will be of string. Though you enter number, it will be of string. Why it will be of string? You need to understand. Why inbuilt of string? I will tell you later on. So normally let us consider now it is the inbuilt string data type. So now I need to convert that string data type to integer using integer method itself, integer class method itself. It is called value of. So first of all, we should know what these and all data types are there. This can be the wrapper classes. In that wrapper classes, how many methods are there? So that's about our wrapper classes. So now once again, if you observe here, so both wrapper classes and primitive in Java can be used to store data. What are primitive data types? What are wrapper classes? What is the difference between them? Difference between them, there is no data. So what is primitive data type? Int, byte, float. So they can be declared as null. Whereas they can't be declared as null. So let us see the difference. Wrapper class provides a mechanism to convert primitive type to object type to primitive. So now if you see primitive, a primitive is a predefined data type provided by Java. Associated class, a wrapper class is used to create an object. Therefore, it has corresponding class. Right. Primitive case, a primitive type is not an object, so it belongs to a class. It doesn't belong to a class. Okay. Wrapper class objects allows null values. Primitive data type doesn't allow null values. Correct. The required memory is higher than primitive because you require additional space. Right? So required memory is low comparing your wrapper classes. Okay. Wrapper classes can be used with the collections such as array list and all. A primitive is not used with collections. So we should never use collections. Actually, in order to do the programming, the better you do is with the wrapper. You should as much as, like it's not like you should never, but we should avoid as much as using a primitive data. Clear? So when you use primitive data type, see, when doing a large amount of calculations, and when you don't want the variable to be null, you don't want variable to be null. Some people value should be there. When you want, like if the method returns a vector, if any method. When to use a wrapper class? In order to find out minimum and maximum size. When you want the variable to be null and default value to be null. So generally, what is the verdict from these two statements if you observe? Choose primitive over wrapper classes unless using a wrapper class is necessary. If wrapper classes you meant you thought that wrapper class is necessary. In that case only you create. Otherwise, go with primitive. It is saying, but primitive types will be never slower than wrapper class. Okay, that's the reason. So primitives are a bit faster. Why wrapper is not that much faster? Because here you need to create an object and you need to assign the null, right? So that is a disadvantage. So when choosing between the primitive type and wrapper class, it always depends on your situation. About wrapper.